In the Quran mentions how Allah created Adam. So Allah created Adam from the clay or the dust of the earth mixed with water, and Allah mentioned the stages. Then from the Adam, from the rib of Adam, Allah created Eve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Allah mentioned that in the Quran how Allah created Adam and Eve.
And how do you know all this stuff?
Because firstly, as a Muslim, I believe Quran is speech of Allah. And not because I'm Muslim, I believe that I can prove the Quran is speech of Allah. It's from God. Because when the Prophet Mohammed came to the people, the Arab pagans, the Arabs, they were masters in language. They were eloquent. And one of the English thinkers said, even he was responding to someone who said there's a grammatical mistakes in the Quran. He said even if the Quran was not from God, just from Muhammad, there will be no grammatical mistakes. Because Muhammad was a pure Arab. Okay. You understand? Because in order for you to know the rules of the Arabic language, you have to go back to them. To the Prophet Muhammad's time, his lifetime. Yeah. So when you look to the Arab pagans at that time, when Prophet Muhammad came to them, they used to challenge one another. Remember, if you study the Arab history, they never had a book before.
Oh yeah.
They were people of memorization. Okay. They used to memorize poems consist of 300, 500 lines. Literally on the spot, they can make poem of many lines, many. So one of the miracles of the Quran that is the stylish of the Quran, the eloquency. So when the Prophet Muhammad came to them and he called them to worship God alone, also from the miracles of the Quran, the legislation of the within the Quran. So he came to them and he told them to worship God alone. When they rejected him, and he said, the miracle that I'm being sent by the creator of everything, this book. Yeah. If you are in doubt, that's what Allah said in the Quran, challenge the Arab pagans. If you are in doubt, they bring something like it in its eloquence, in its legislation, prophecies, guidelines, and so on. Remember, the Arab pagans, they were looking for anything to invalidate his prophethood.
Yeah.
So he's giving them something, as we say, in the golden plates, to invalidate his prophethood. Yeah. So what they did, instead of accepting the challenge, they waged the war against him. And we know in a war you're going to lose your wealth, lose your money, lose your family, you lose your life.
Yeah.
So why they chose the war and they never chose to accept the challenge? Because they knew it was impossible for them to bring something like the Quran. It was beyond their capacity. That's why they chose the war. Yeah. So it's more rational, logical. No one will be able to bring something like the Quran. If the people back then who were poets, who were eloquent in their speech, they used to challenge one another, they couldn't challenge the Quran, let alone people who came after. Do you understand? Yeah. Also, the Quran came with this legislation called preserving 5 necessities in life. Okay. 5 universal necessities. Okay. The first one, Islam came to preserve religion. Yeah. What does that mean? Islam came to call people to worship God alone. Okay. You should not worship no one beside him. Okay. Even worship Prophet Muhammad. Okay. So paganism, polytheism, atheism is forbidden in Islam. Because when you do not worship the true God, what happens? You start following your desires. And we can see that right now. Yeah. The Western world, quote unquote, the most civilized countries in the world, they are drowning in darkness. The example I give of the Western world is like someone he has a broken arm, his eyes messed up, everything. He's messed up from everything. Yeah. So what he does, he wears nice suits and he put a nice mask, nice glasses. From outside it looks good, but within he's been destroyed. It's been destroyed. So when you look to the Western world, now man is confused if he's a man or woman. A woman is confused if she's a man or woman. Did they stop there? No. Now people that are confused if they are even he or she. He said, don't call me he, I'm they. Has it stopped there? No. Some people think they are being born in the wrong body. He's a man completely, fully man, but he says, I feel like I'm something else. And this is a problem because when you open that door, that's what Allah mentioned in the Quran, when the people start following their desires, then the heavens and the earth will be corrupted. So literally, there was a guy on ITV4, he said he's a broccoli. Yeah, I'll show you, man. Watch this. Wallah, you're gonna laugh. The guy said he's a broccoli, bro. And they told him, watch, yeah. To understand, when you have no God in the true God in your life, I will show you. Yeah. To show you, bro, that the outcome of not following God. Here we go. One second.
I'm on the internet because you were arrested and you were a piece of broccoli. You identified broccoli?
I am Mr. Broccoli, yes. Yes, that's my piece.
Do you have another name?
Oh, yeah.
No, Mr. Broccoli.
That's it.
Yeah.
You don't go about your daily business as a piece of broccoli.
I've always been a piece of broccoli.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
Right. So do you have a job?
I just grow. Yeah.
Right.
He said, do you have a job or just to grow? I don't believe he's serious.
Yeah.
But what he's doing, he's trying to prove a point.
Yeah.
That if you open that door, that I'm gonna identify myself because I feel something like it inside me, then I feel like I'm broccoli. That's what he said.
Yeah,
He said, I feel. Alaikum salam. So now there's another one from Germany. He's 55 years old, and he said, I believe I'm 16 years old, trapped in a body of 50 years old. So Islam comes on to worship God alone, because without God you will start following your desires. That's why the time we're living in, what is the time they call it? The time of individualism and subjectivity. It's bad to you, but not to me. No, what is bad is known. Something if it's bad, it's bad. But when you don't have God, of course you're gonna fall into that confusion. That's the first one. The second one, Islam came to protect and preserve the intellect. That's why. Assalamu alaikum.
You are very. How you this one? Your 2 eyes, I give you for.
The £2 million. I'll give it to you. Yeah,
Good man, bro.
Barakallahu fik. So it's come to protect the intellect. That's why in Islam, alcohol and drugs forbidden. Okay. Thirdly, Islam came to preserve wealth. That's why interest and gambling is forbidden. Islam came to preserve marriage life, families. That's why fornication, adultery is forbidden. Also, Islam came to preserve life. That's why killing people unjustly is forbidden. Killing yourself is forbidden. These 5 things Islam came to protect. Not just protect it by just speaking. No, there's a punishment for that. There's a punishment. What is the opposite of that? Alcohol. Is it good for us or bad for us? Bad, individually and collectively. Gambling is bad, individually and collectively. Interest make the rich richer, poor poorer, and enslave people. You understand? So it's bad for us individually and collectively. Likewise, fornication, adultery is bad for us, destroy families. Also, cut people off from their true lineage and heritage. So someone, because remember, this woman she has no right over you. You're just sleeping with her, and also you don't like it for your sister. I don't like it for my daughter, for my sister. So these 5 things which destroy societies, not just allowed within our societies, it's been glorified and been propagated. And yes, there is some people do benefit from these vices. Who are they? Those who are in power, who are making money from it. Even though they know it's evil, but because they're making money out of it, they allow it, they promote it. So that's why logically, how man that existed 1,400 years ago, who couldn't read and write, he lived in the middle of the desert, he came with this perfect way of life. On the other hand, we have these politicians who studied in the best universities around the world, yet they cannot resolve the problems that we are facing. Because that man, Prophet Mohammed, he received the revelation from the Most High. And the Creator, he knows what is good for us in details, and he knows what is bad for us in details. But human beings, we can we can do guesswork, To show you also, when you have no God, you fall into clear-cut contradiction. Alcohol is illegal, correct? And also alcohol is illegal. It's illegal, you mean, yeah? Alcohol is legal. Drugs is illegal. Yeah? But alcohol causes more harm than drugs. Majority of crimes because of alcohol. So why alcohol is allowed in our society and drugs not allowed? Even though alcohol causes the same harm, rather worse, and cause why? alcohol, people make money from it, high taxes. You see?
Yeah.
So even people know alcohol is bad for us, why they're not stopping it? Because they're making money, benefit them. That's why you need the creator to legislate. Because when the creator legislates something for mankind, there's no evil desires and bias involved. Because he's the creator of everyone.
Yeah.
So this legislation that man came with, which is good for us, good for us individually and collectively. The question that we ask ourselves: so why some people are very hostile to Islam? Majority of times, those who are very hostile to Islam, either they are ignorant of Islam, or those who are making money from the suffering of the people, and they look at Islam as a threat for their business. It's like me, imagine I own banks, you know, other those vices of alcohol and so on, and you come start teaching people about Islam, even though I know what you want, good for them. But what I'm gonna do, because I'm a rich man, I have a lot of money, I'm gonna utilize my wealth to make you look bad, even though you're a good person. You want picture? Sorry, man. My point here is, so what do you think what I said so far? Does it make sense?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, you know. So likewise, so when you look to the Quran, all goes back to, from that it speaks about the story of Adam and Eve. And Allah created us from Adam and Eve. You know, that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned: all mankind, all people, fear your Lord who created you from a single soul. And that goes back to Adam, you know, goes back to Adam. So also for the Quran, like the prophecies in the Quran, Allah mentioned the Quran when the Prophet Mohammed was in Mecca, when he was scared for his life. He was telling his companions, you will overpower the Persians and the Romans. Back in those days, the world was split up into two. Either you belong to the empire of the Persian Empire, or you belong to the Roman Empire. And they were very strong and powerful. And imagine someone in the middle of the desert, while he's scared for his life, and his companions being tortured, he's telling them that you will overpower the Persians and the Romans. That's what that's one of the power of prophecies. Everything in the real life go against it. So everything in the real life is going against it. How these people in the middle of Mecca, few of them, man is telling them that you will, you, not the people after you, you're going to overpower. Historically speaking, the time of Abu Bakr, time of Abu Khattab, one of the disciples of Prophet Muhammad, he conquered Persia and Roma. So that prophecy, that's one of the English historian, he said that prophecy as if it's impossible to happen, but it happened. That because that Prophet Muhammad is a messenger of the Most High, and Allah told him that will occur. Likewise, from these prophecies, the prophecies in the Quran, Allah mentioned, O Muhammad, the verse, يا أيها الرسول بلغ ما أنزل إليك من ربك فإن لم تفعل فما بلغت رسالته والله يعصمك من الناس. O Messenger of Allah, the meaning of the verse, convey the message from your Lord, and your Lord will protect you until you convey the message. This verse was revealed when the Prophet Muhammad was in the war. And Allah is saying him that you will convey the whole message of Islam, and you will not be harmed until you convey the message. So when this verse was revealed, he was inside his tent, and his companions that were guarding him, he came out, he said, leave me, Allah will protect me. You know, that is not the nature of a liar, because a liar knows that God is not with him, he's lying, he's just making it up. Rather he will be inside a fortress. Prophet Muhammad was involved in war, people tried to poison him, all of that, and he did not die until he conveyed the whole message. When he stood in the mountain of Arafah in Mecca, and he said, have I conveyed the message? 9 years later, he said, yes. He said, oh Allah, be my witness. Again, this prophecy in the Quran is so powerful. You understand? That's why all the problems that we are facing now, the solutions in the Quran, in this book. Because that book is from your creator and my creator. Make sense?
Yeah, I get it.
So you believe in God, you are...
Yeah.
So let me ask a question.
Okay.
The example he was mentioning, I'm going to give you the example. He was telling me to mention the example I always mention. Imagine I said to you, look, Neo, yeah?
Yeah.
You seem like a good person, and I'm a multi-millionaire. I will give you £2 million as a gift. I'm not asking nothing from you. £2 million as a gift. If you do take it, what would you say to me at least? If you do take it, would you thank me? For £2 million, of course. £2 million is big money, bro.
Yeah.
What country you from?
Scotland.
Scotland. If you go to Scotland, £2 million, you're gonna
Yeah, so-
nice. Where is Scotland? Where?
It's just above England.
No, where? I went Scotland.
Oh, like-
I lived in Glasgow.
Glasgow, yeah.
I lived in Glasgow.
Yeah, I live in
2002. I was living in Glasgow. I like it. It's very nice. Yeah. So you will thank me, and you will remember me all the time. £2 million is a big money. Yeah. Now I will give you £2 million on a condition. Give me your two eyes.
I would do.
You wouldn't, because why? Your eyes is more valuable than anything else.
Exactly.
So why you are not grateful and remember who gave you eyes for free?
Okay. I see. Yeah.
You see, that's what Allah says in the Quran. If you try to count Allah's blessings on you, you will never be able to do so. If you, may Allah forbid, imagine in a house and there's a fire everywhere. Everywhere. You wake up in your own room, you have been surrounded with a fire. You try your best to save yourself, but you couldn't. You gave up. I came and I saved your life. What would you say to me?
No, thank you.
You accept al You would thank me. Accept al You, of course, I saved your life, bro, from the fire.
Yeah.
But I never gave you life. What about the one who gave you life?
Yeah.
Why are you not grateful to him? Why don't you worship him? You know? If you want to buy a gift for your mother, would you buy a gift that you love or your mother love? Likewise, if you want to worship the Creator, you should worship him the way he loves, not the way we love. Because the way he loves is the absolute truth. Make sense? Is it clear? Look, brother, you know, there's something you have to understand. There were people like you and I, talking, having a fun. Now they are dead. And Allah mentioned in the Quran, أَفَحَسِبْتُمْ أَنَّمَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ عَبَثًا. Do you think that we have created without any purpose? Far away from Allah from His imperfection. Because you are attributing imperfection to the most wise to create something without any purpose. Every part of your body has a purpose. What about you as a whole? What is our purpose? The answer is in the Quran. You know, how many people leave the house and never come back? How many people won't sleep, they never wake up? This life is a test. This life is not our objective goal. We're not here to stand here. We're not here to stay here forever. Where is those tyrants? Where is those transgressors? Where is the righteous ones? Gone. You know, Prophet Mohammed, 3 years, he had nothing to eat. Because the people were coming against him because he told them what? Worship God alone, don't worship nothing beside him. And Allah mentioned in the Quran that he will aid him. And you know, one of the prophecies in the Quran, Allah mentioned that هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى. It's Allah who sent his prophet with guidance, Islam. ليظهره على الدين كله, in order for Islam to prevail the other religions. Now there is many barriers against Islam. In Australia, by itself, Australia, they mentioned every day there's over 50 articles speaking in a bad way about Islam. You know, let alone Britain or France or Belgium and so on, but yet the fastest growing religion on the face of the earth is Islam. Who's doing the job? Allah, the Most High, not me. I'm weak. The Muslims are weak. The Muslim countries are weak, no doubt. But who's doing the job? We're in the Western world. We're not forcing no one, because what Islam's, it goes in line with the sound reasoning, with the natural inclination. These tools, who gave it to us? The Creator. When the Creator create us, He create us with the tools that goes in line with His legislation. Click in. And one of the miracles of the Quran, Allah mentioned in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ يَسَّنَّا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. We have made Quran easy to be memorized. Easy to be memorized. That is a claim in the Quran. Can we verify it? Yes. If you go to Algeria, Africa, if you go to Asia, come to Europe, America, you name it, any continent, you find the Muslims at the age of 9, 10 memorize the Quran, word for word and letter for letter. And Allah said He will preserve it. So if all the Muslims and the Jews and the Christians decide to burn the scriptures, the only scripture is the Quran. That is a miracle. Also, Allah, you know what I said? Well, another verse Allah said, وَلَقَدْ يَسَّنَّا الْقُرْآنَ. Another verse Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, or the verse that I have mentioned, sorry, that we made it easy to be memorized, that even some Muslims, they don't even speak the Arabic language, but they memorize the Quran in the Arab, all of it. It's like, imagine you and I, all of us here, we don't speak Chinese. We don't speak Chinese at all, but we memorize a book in Chinese. That is, you know, that's a miracle. A miracle, that's one of the miracles of the Quran. There's many. So, do you have any questions you want to ask?
No, I get it now.
Yeah? Why don't you become Muslim?
I'll think about it.
Okay, inshallah. Let me give you something to read.
Okay.
Yeah. Think about it, inshallah. But listen, remember, bro, something you have to remember
Yeah.
that there's something after us called death. And no one is guaranteed, nothing is guaranteed in this life except
Thank you.
death. You're welcome. So don't, when you leave, don't forget about this information because it's very important. This information is about hellfire and paradise. When the creator created this creation, it's mixed evil and good. But he created place when there's pure good. And there's place when there's pure evil. So those who want to choose good here, and the most good thing is to worship God alone and follow his teaching. And the biggest evil is to turn away from your creator. Yes. So you choose here. Will you want to be a place of his mercy or a place of his anger? You know? If you have any question, you can ask, man. Do you have any questions? Okay, inshallah. All right? All right, take care. Assalamu alaikum, take care. It was nice to meet you, Neil, yeah? Nice to meet you, take care, yeah? Assalamu alaikum, okay.